focus. As former COSAC chair, they created the Clark Ranch open space parcel. For 25 years, with Think, I led the Treasure Village Conservation and Open Space Initiative. These open space parcels are done deals, as is the zoning. As elected officials, your job is to protect your citizens. I'm going to be done.
Please ask a question.
Okay, I will. The existing bold Main Street plan would require rezoning lots on Sweet Alley, Main Street, and Marzac. Would you commit now to voting against rezoning/upzoning of Sweet Alley, Main Street for new hotels and future development?
Well, I can take that one because it's easy for me to say yes, because the Main Street area plan that we worked on did not prescribe any zoning. KBCW again has the reporting, we can share the link. I'm directly quoted saying, no changes in height limits, 45 feet height on Sweet Alley as it is today. There's been bizarre rumors about 6-story hotels and 650 beds. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Everything that was proposed fits within the zone. And of course, in the big picture, if the community doesn't want a hotel on Sweet Alley, we won't have a hotel on Sweet Alley. The Main Street area plan was a conceptual plan about walkability, vibrancy, what's the next turn of improvements on Main Street. We are not tied to any specific idea within that plan. It's how do we achieve that vision in a way that's in harmony with the community.
John, I think the paramount principle here is not to mess with the historic nature of Main Street. It's the beating heart of our town. It's what makes us different than everybody else. We're not a blind spot on I-70. We're a historic silver town. We're a historic mining town. And once you destroy that, you can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I think you're on the right track.
I have a 10-second question.
I will count.
Good luck. So, like I said, 20 years back to the rail trail, it keeps coming up, even though people say it's not going to come up. Will either of you consider putting forth an ordinance that blocks any further discussion of development of the rail trail?
Sure, I'm against development of the rail trail. I couldn't be any more out there opposing this idea. Sure, yes. No trains on the rail trail. Keep it as it is.
Yeah. And I would reiterate that. I mean, the voice of the residents has spoken. I want the residents to have their voice, the people of Prospector and the surrounding areas. Find the rail trail to be a magical place, and we shouldn't mess
Mom, I
with it.
gotta get a bus.
Since we have one left.
Thank you. There's close to $100 million operating budget. If you become mayor, what are you going to do besides debate over development? There's so many more issues to talk about.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to go first. Go ahead. I would like to do an operational audit on our city. We've got a huge budget. Anytime there's a huge budget, things sort of leak in and leak out. I think the opportunity there is to see if there's a higher level of service that can be provided to our residents for the budget that we should steward so judiciously. To my mind, it should just be put together in a way that we make sure that we get the most bang for our buck of that $95 million that it is this year. Thanks.
I'm proud that we're good stewards of our money. We audit ourselves every year. We just initiated 2 additional pilot audits in different areas, primarily in our water department. In my 4 years on council, we have passed a balanced budget every year. We had a budget surplus every year. Our costs have grown, but so have our revenues. And the most important thing to say there is we're probably not going to winnow many of those costs back. Our costs are going to continue to grow as our impacts continue to grow, and as our demands for residents for programs and service levels continue to grow. But it's just to protect those revenues, especially the sales tax revenues that really pay for the things that we have in town. About 85 cents of every dollar that we take in is paid for by a visitor or a second homeowner. And our property taxes, the city has never raised property taxes at that rate in its entire history. We know our bills continue to go up, but that's looking at really primarily Mason Rat County and school district. So no increases in taxes, watch our budget, continue to be fiscally responsible.
I did say that we were going to do the one last one.
Super fast.
All right, this is the end, this will be the last one, 1 minute for closing statements
The last
after this.
No.
Yes.
Last one.
I don't know if you guys can see me because of those lights, but I can see you guys. It's great to see both of you guys here. Thank you for the great discussion. Super fast, there was never a vote on the density of Clark Ranch. City Council asked for a range of numbers and they came back with one design. How do you reconcile that and what would make you hit pause on a project like this? And it's probably mostly for Councilman Dickey. Thank you. You know, we've said a lot about Clark Ranch, and you threw out a lot there. I'm not sure how to exactly answer your question, John. There was never a vote on the density number. But there was a vote on the density number. We had small, medium, and large scenarios with unit counts that was voted on by council. We had Councilor Rebecca Gerber next door me on the large side. I was on the medium side, and that's headed towards where we are today. I think the last part of your question was the most important, which is, I think, how do you reevaluate projects that come before you? If you know people who've watched me work over 9 years in public, if you've read letters to the editor of the Park Record, which are clearly people who know me and are sincere, my style is collaborative. I'm a listener first. You don't see bombast from me. I've changed my mind on things. I've taken votes that I've regretted. I've taken votes I've regretted like 2 hours later in bed. Why did I do that? I'm an open-minded guy. I'm a creature of the political center. I'm here to listen to our residents and what they want, and I'm always open to reevaluating projects. But when I feel like we're on the right course, I also have political courage to lean in. And so we're at a little bit of that inflection point here. Can we scale down the density a little bit? Sure. Can we work on the project to make it better? We brought in a new road. I'm always for our residents. I'm always for mitigation. But I also do favor leaning in and moving this project forward. That's just reality.
Jeff, do you have any?
No.
Okay.
Thank
All right, thank you. I'm gonna now give them 1 minute each, and then we'll be done. We can be out of here. Sorry, library, for staying over our time. Okay, so the last question, Jack went first. So now I'm gonna give Ryan, you'll go first. You'll have 1 minute. Jack, you'll have 1 minute.
Okay, I didn't prepare a closing statement. I wanted to hear what was said. I want to thank Jack, and I want to thank KBCW and Park Record. I thought this was a great discussion. And I think this is the best part of Park City, us coming together and having these conversations. Yeah, I get a lot of questions about what's it like to campaign. You know, it sort of looks awful from the outside. What's it like? It's great. I mean, running a logistical operation, running a campaign, that's a little bit of a drag when you have a job and kids and whole things. But it's fun. You knock on a door, you open it. I think if you knock on a door in a big city, you get about a 5% open rate. I'm sure Jack's done the same.